for persons who are intending to write mathematics in January 2025, I'm going to go through a breakdown of depending on when you're going to choose to start studying, or for those of you who may join a class or a school to help you in your studies, how much time per week on average you will need to spend to obtain that goal. So 4 to 1 month, and we're going to talk about the slow learners, the medium learners, the fast learners. And then each person will know whether they have that kind of time on their hands to cover maths to get at least a grade 2. Some people may get a grade 3 with all that time that they have to sacrifice, because again, maths has a lot to cover. Some may get a grade 1. It depends on if you're slow, fast, or medium, and whether you have any background knowledge in the subject. Furthermore, how recent you did the subject as well. Because if you did maths 10 years ago, you might remember next to nothing, right? If you did maths a year ago, you may remember some things, right? So all of that is going to affect how much time you spend per week in order to obtain your goal, right? I need you all to know, for those who are not aware, a normal week of 7 days has a total of 168 hours per week, which means based on the time frames I'm going to give, it may be possible for some of you to spend this kind of time, but then it depends on your life and work or school schedule, depending if you are in school student doing about 6, 7, 8 subjects, if you are a repeater doing 1, 2, or whatever subjects, and then you have to work, or if you are a repeater doing subjects and you don't have to work. So remember that you are studying as the syllabus, mathematics syllabus, is usually covered in 2 school years, while students are in Form 4 and 5. So when you are covering that time frame of material in 4, 3 to 1 month, guess what? You're going to have to spend more time than normal. So here's how we're going. 4 months, a slow learner. So 4 months will mean from September. Today, I'm making this video, which is the 4th of September 2024. And if you intend to stop your studies, just giving a rough end by the end of December, which I know some people will continue until the exams, the first week in January and stuff, but I'm just giving a 4-month breakdown here. A slow learner. So, a lot of people would know if they're slow. Some people don't even know if they're slow. To me, a slow learner is like, if I do a new topic, I may have to take 2 classes, which is 4 hours, 2 classes or more to go through that for that person to remember and understand. So if you have to take multiple classes to like remember a topic, you are a slow learner. That's in my opinion. If you are a medium learner, usually you may understand what's in a class, but it may take you about 5 or more examples. If you are a fast learner, like I explained Joshua before, usually after going through 2 examples per topic or close to 3, you already understand. So that's how I kind of evaluate slow and fast medium learners. Now, so if you're a slow learner, you start in classes from December, you may need on average to spend 16 to 20 hours weekly until exam every single week. If you cannot do this, join a class that will help you stay on top of the schedule. Now, a medium learner may need to spend 12 to 16 hours weekly until exams. A fast learner, 8 to 12 hours weekly until the exams. Right now, some people say, well, I don't have that time. If you don't have that time, write in May, June instead, right? Because you need to stick to the schedule, okay? Now, if it is you choose to start classes in October, the 1st of October, and you want to write maths in January, so I'll give you a 3-month breakdown. And again, you could continue this until you write your exam in January, of course. A slow learner, on average, 21 to 27 hours weekly. And this is to make sure you cover enough material and do your revision to remember what you learned at the same time, right? Now, this will work for someone who either do like part-time or part-time job or something, right? or they have part-time school and they have a lot of free time. Now, someone who's a medium learner, 16 to 21 hours weekly until the exams. Someone who is a fast learner, it would be around 10 to 16 hours weekly to cover maths, right? So again, you have to know where you are in terms of the learner, and that will kind of give you an idea. And if you're not sure which learner you are, when you start studying, you will know. If you find topics are giving you problems, like real problems to understand, you are on the slow end. If you are medium, you may take probably within an hour to figure out something. I'll give you a medium. If it is you're a fast learner, usually you would understand it, a topic, within 10-15 minutes of delving into the topic itself, right? Now, those who want to join real last minute, we're talking about November, right? 2024. You have 2 months. A slow learner, 32 to 40 hours. This is for people who either working from home and don't have to travel or drive, so you have that extra time, and possibly working part-time. Medium learner, 24 to 32 hours weekly. A fast learner, 16 to 24 hours weekly until the exam, right? So if you know you cannot work on this, don't join your class in November. Start studying now or join classes now, and keep up with the previous times for either 3 months or 4 months that I give, right? And you can adjust it to suit your speed, right? Because even though I'm giving slow, medium, fast, some people have some in-between speeds, and some may be way slower. Like it have all kind of different variations of slow. I have been teaching for over 5 years, and I've dealt with all kind of different versions of slow, fast, and medium, right? Okay. And I believe I went through if you have fast 16 to 24 hours a week. Now, for those last minute crammers, I sorry for you. I don't even recommend what I'm going to show. But if you choose to do this to yourself and any of the above as well, make sure and use brain food, because that will be a lot of stress on your brains. You don't want to go mad. You don't want to die from stress. You don't want to, be giving your body too much of pressure. So you want to make sure and use your brain food and any other vitamin for your nervous system and stuff. But for people who like the last month thing, I know they out there, right? The crammers, the real last minute people. If you choose to study from December, which is a full month, and then you have a week or two in January, slow learners, 64 to 80 hours a week. That means you don't have no work, you don't work, you are home all the time. So the rest of the time you can spend sleeping, probably watching TV in terms of news, and then you have to sacrifice most of your time, probably 8-12 hours a day or more, right? You have to break it down in days, right? But I have it in terms of weekly hours to cover as much as everything to either get a grade 2 or 3. It may take you to a grade 1 if you're a fast learner, this schedule, right? A medium learner, again, you should be working. You need to be home alone. Well, when I say home alone, home all the time, 48 to 64 hours weekly until the exams. A fast learner, 32 to 48 hours weekly until the exams. And this may take you, as I said, usually around a grade 2. Some might fall on a grade 3. If you're real good, you'll end up on a grade 1. But this is a pressure schedule because, again, you are trying to cover about 8 major topics, 8 or 9 of my head, major topics that usually some of these topics take 4-6 weeks to cover. In a short period of time, you are going to be spending almost like a work day. So you need to be home all the time. I know some people like to work for Christmas. So if you have this last minute schedule and you think you can make it, forget it. Go for major. The long run will be a little bit more ease for you.